Hello everybody. As you can see, my faithful assistant is with me. Quite put out because I worked a little late today. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my favourite kind of customer as a chef. The people that I really enjoy cooking for, and the people that you kind of want to move heaven and earth for. And my position is a little bit similar to Anthony Bourdain's in this regard, and still think it's interesting because particularly in Western societies, people have a reluctance to be this diner, and I'm talking about the solo diner, the person that has come into a restaurant by themselves with nobody else and decided to have a meal, and a lot of people embarrassed to be this person. Possibly because people feel like they're the centre of attention in a negative way. Could also just be the implied Nigel no friends status that comes with being in a restaurant by yourself. But as a chef, I find it quite flattering when someone comes to a restaurant by themselves. Because there's a lot of reasons why people go to restaurants. Fundamentally, it's to eat, obviously. But the reason why you choose your restaurant, why you go to one place over another, familiarity, you want to impress somebody, to try a new experience, nostalgia, force of habit. All these reasons are reasons why you will pick in any given restaurant. To impress people, shared commonality of experiences, etc. Anniversaries, weddings, stuff like that. But the solo diners come to a restaurant fundamentally not to impress somebody, maybe not to try something new, but they're there for the food. They're there for the chef. At least that's how it feels. They've come to a restaurant because of the experience a chef can offer. Rather than stay at home or order a pizza or go to McDonald's or do any number of things, they choose to come to a restaurant. And that means a lot to me as a chef, because you get a lot of feedback as a chef, and most of it you pretty much have to disregard. Because it's either unqualified, like someone will say, "Oh my god, that was the best meal I've ever had." And well, what did you like about it? Everything! Thanks, I can't do anything with that. Praise like that is kind of... it's not useful. You can't do anything with it. Somebody says that your food is fantastic, and you ask them, well, what did you enjoy about it? And they say everything. You can't improve. It's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want people to sit there and think I'm hating at people that say, everything was good. But it's kind of... there's nothing you can do with it. It's like if somebody says that they hated their experience, and if they can't give you something to work on, you can't do anything with it. So you end up disregarding it. You literally just end up going, well, there's no positive or negative, it doesn't matter. They're not giving me any feedback I can use. But solo diners will almost always be able to tell you why they've chosen your restaurant, why they've come. And even if it's a negative experience they have, they will give you good enough feedback so that you can improve. And if it's positive feedback, well, then twice as good, because they'll tell you exactly what they enjoyed and what they didn't enjoy. And that's kind of cool and flattering. And it's... think of the solo diners that I've cooked for. I've cooked for a lot of people. I'm in my second decade of being a real, honest-to-God, paper-carrying chef. And I've been in this industry since I was 15, more or less, and it's a very long time. But I still remember the 24 or so people who have come into the restaurant solo. I mean, I've cooked for tons of people. I've cooked for billionaires. I've cooked for heads of state, including one that's still current. Shout out to Prime Minister Ardern. Hey, last cooked for you just before you won the election in 2017. So I'm not going to take credit for your winning performance. I'm just going to sit there and say that I know deep down that I inspired you to become the Prime Minister of New Zealand, to campaign harder because of just how good the food I served was. Kidding. No, I'm deadly serious. I'm responsible for. I'm a kingmaker. I've cooked for billionaires in three countries, dozen or so ambassadors. I cooked for Buzz Aldrin, which was just absolutely amazing. I've also cooked for people that will never be as famous as Buzz Aldrin or Jacinda Ardern or a billionaire, but have meant tremendously large amounts to me, and they've always come in as a solo diner, and that is probably why I love solo diners so much, because it reminds me of that. And yeah, it is a weird and heady thing to try and explain what a solo diner means to you, but it really does feel like you pour your heart and soul into being a chef. Everything you have, you do an apprenticeship where you paid no money. You spend thousands of dollars on cookbooks. As you can see, you spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on knives and cleavers. This is my beef splitter. This was actually a gift from a solo diner in Orange. He'd been a camp cook way out in the west, and he brought this in and gave it to me because he was very impressed with the cooking I did. And that's an awesome thing. Not saying that if you're a solo diner you have to present the chef with a weapon that could be used by an orc, but I'm not saying that. But yeah, I guess my point for this extremely short rant is that you pour a lot of yourself into plates. You put everything you have, Friday nights, Saturday nights. You have to sacrifice a lot for this industry to get good at it, to do it well. And people that come in just to have your food are kind of like the reward you get for it. They're the bit that makes the sacrifices, the destroyed relationships, the people that you never see, the estranged family, all that stuff. It kind of, when a solo diner comes in and they come in just to have your food, it makes it worthwhile. It makes the sacrifice you make worthwhile. So, I would like to think that maybe people could stop being embarrassed about being solo diners, or feeling that, a random table of one on a quiet Monday lunchtime is going to be treated with anything other than reverence, because you guys, solo diners, are the ones that make it worthwhile, because you're there just for the food. It makes everything we do worthwhile. It makes the sacrifices, the low pay, the treacherous hours. It can take just one person coming into the restaurant specifically to have the food you cook make a lot of the shit that we put up with worthwhile. So I want to say thank you, solo diners, people that go to restaurants because they love the food that we do as chefs. You make it worthwhile. It'd be great if we got paid more money and didn't have to work such hellish hours, and we're given slightly more respect than serial killers. But I'll take what I can get. And this is kind of all I've got to say about this subject. I just wanted to do a quick one. So yeah, shout out to my Patreons who throw money in the pot, which doesn't really keep the lights on, but kind of encourages me to keep doing this. And I'll see you guys next time.